Hello. Thank you. Hello, Mark. I'd like to ask, what is your favorite car that you designed so far?
That's always tricky. I've designed a lot of cars, and it's like asking who my favorite child is. But I think of all the cars I've ever made, the one that has like a soft spot in my heart is a car called Doubling Season that I made in original Ravnica. So every once in a while, as a designer, you make a card that's for you. Like most of the cards I design are for lots of other players, but every once in a while you make a card that just you really wanted to exist. And Doubling Season was something that I love doubling, and I just wanted it to exist so that I could have it. And every once in a while, one of the cool things about being a designer is every once in a while you can make a card that you really wanted to make exist. And I'm so happy it's become a beloved card that lots and lots of players really love. And so it's my favorite card that I've designed.
So Mark, what is a card game in Japan that influenced you back into a Magic set?
So when we were making original Innistrad, we were trying to figure out how to do werewolves. And so there's a Japanese game that Wizard actually makes called Duel Masters. And Duel Masters had done double-faced cards. And so somebody, a man named Tom Lapilli, suggested, what if we use that technology from Duel Masters as a way to do our werewolves? And at the time, people were like, I don't know. I mean, we knew we could do it. I mean, from a printing standpoint, we knew we could do it because we had done it with with Duel Masters. And there was a lot of resistance, but it really was cool, and it was the most flavorful way to make werewolves, that they're human on one side and werewolf on the other. And so we convinced the rest of the department that that was the right thing to do, and double-faced cards became a thing. But we owe it all to Duel Masters.
So Mark, what is your favorite commander, if you have one?
Well, I mean, once again, I think I always choose sort of emotional favorites. So Karn is a character that I co-created with a man named Michael Ryan, and Karn holds a special spot in my heart. You know, I've always loved artifact creatures, and I wanted to have an artifact member of the Weatherlight crew when we made the Weatherlight Saga, and so I've always liked Karn. Karn's existed both as a planeswalker and as a legendary creature, so that you can't actually make him a commander. And so I will pick Karn. It's an emotional pick, but I'll stand by it.
What's your otaku card?
If I had to pick one, I think it would be Duplicity. It's a card I made in Tempest, the very first set I ever led, and it was a card I'd made before I came to Wizards that I thought was this really cool card that I was very proud of the design, and then I made it, and like nobody played it. But I mean, it's not a strong card, that's why people don't play it, but it's a very quirky card, and I like the weirdness of it. And it's always a card that I hope someday somewhere someone comes up with a cool way to use it that no one ever thought of.
What is your favorite commander?
My favorite commander just came out recently, and it's called Magnus the Red. Seriously, Magnus the Red, just like me. And he's from the new Warhammer 40,000 set. He's really powerful. When you make creature tokens, you make instants and sorceries cost 1 less to cast for each creature token you have. So all you want to do is make a lot of little creature tokens. You can really make them with cards like Forbidden Friendship. You can also use them with cards like, anything that makes a goblin token. And then you can cast really big spells like Muse Vortex, or you can draw a bunch of cards, or you can cast cards like Stolen by the Fae. And then sometimes X is equal to 20 when you cast something like Release the Gremlins. And you can just destroy everyone's stuff and get a bunch of tokens. So I really like Magnus the Red. He's really powerful. Get him out early, make a lot of little creature tokens, and then you're casting huge spells and hopefully winning the game.
We know you like red. What do you think about the strong red right now in Commander?
It's very strong right now, and it seems like it just keeps getting stronger, actually. We have Jessica's Will, Dockside Extortionist, but Red's also gotten lots of help with things like Wheel of Misfortune. Wheel of Fortune is a really powerful card, and Wheel of Misfortune is pretty close to the same power level. So Red's got so much help, and they really like playing fast, obviously. So cards like Light Up the Stage also. Quick, fast value, a lot of card advantage, and you can probably take over your opponents that way. Oh, also, Tybalt's Trickery, counterspell in red. Now, has some crazy effects, but that's still a counterspell. Could save you from losing the game. And one of my new favorites is a card called Ember Wild Captain. Play this and just watch. It does a lot of damage.
What's your otaku card?
My otaku card is a crazy one. It's called Descent of the Dragons. It's a 4 red sorcery and it destroys creatures, but guess what? They turn into dragons instead. And you might think, what? Why is this card good? You don't want to give your opponents dragons. It's like, well, you can destroy your own creatures and make them even bigger and scarier than before. So if you ever have a little 1/1 red goblin or a little soldier token and they're small and they can't do anything, blow them up make them into crazy big dragons, and sometimes that's the only way you can win the game. Out of nowhere, give them haste, murder everyone. That's my style.
What's a card that you want to sneak in your deck to surprise your opponents?
Yeah, so Out of Time, I think, is a really great card that's well positioned in the format right now to surprise your opponents, because what it can often do is phase out your opponent's commanders. And in general, the format is, the commanders are really resilient. They're easy to bring back if you exile it, if you destroy it. Even if you bounce it to their hand, obviously they can recast it very easily. But phasing is not something the rules handle very well, so it can often get rid of your opponent's commander for a long enough period of time that the game's basically over by the time they get it back, or they never get it back before the game ends. And if your commander deck is built around your actual commander, which most are, losing the commander just shuts them off like that. So Out of Time, I would say, is pretty well positioned right now and can get a lot of people. You hear a lot of groans when you play it. Out of Time. So try it out.
Hi Josh, what's your otaku card?
So I'm gonna go with Reap, which is a green card that gets you cards back from your graveyard, but it's based on other players playing black, which I think makes a lot of players not want to play the card. But black is a very popular color in Commander. With multiple opponents, you generally are able to get a lot more cards back with Reap than something like Regrowth. So I really have found it to just be insane value, and often you play it and basically win the game because it's so cheap to cast, and you get so many cards back that the value is just insurmountable for your opponent. So I really like Reap.
Hallelujah! What's up, Japan?
It's so cool to hear the Commander is really catching on there. Hopefully we can come visit soon.
That's right, and remember, only one may stand.
今日の負けはこちら。最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございます。よろしければチャンネルの登録、そして高評価よろしくお願いいたします。またマジックのカードをご購入の際は概要欄のリンクからハレリアをぜひご利用ください。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。